words is hard.
Those lashes. Oh my goodness. I feel like this is like couples counseling.
When you speak to me like this, it makes me feel... Hi, Maddie. We've been told to introduce each other, so I'm going to introduce you first. Okay, so you are Madison, Kathy Hardy from Texas. And you've been in Hanoi, what, 8 years?
I think I was in Hanoi for 5 years. Vietnam, 8 years, yeah.
And you originally started out here as a teacher?
That's correct.
And then you did your PGCE?
Yeah. Oh, can't believe you remember that. Okay.
And you were on a mission to have a baby. And then you did your IVF treatment, which got a lot of traction, and a lot of women really respected you for that. And eventually moved to Vietnam, where just after you had Novi's.
Moved to Hoi An, yeah. No, that pretty much summarizes my journey in Vietnam, for sure. Yeah. And I met you on a rooftop. The bond was instantaneous. You are Leslie. You come from South Africa. You are my partner, my work wife. Kate suggested you, which was the best freaking suggestion anyone's ever given me.
Thanks, Kate.
Thanks, Kate. She was like, oh, Leslie's perfect for this. And now 6 years later, you run Nest and are still perfect. So that's you.
That's me. I also originally started out as a teacher though.
Yeah.
Yeah. And did Nest and teaching at the same time. So it's possible to do many things at the same time.
We multitasked a lot.
Yeah, we did.
Back in the day. I couldn't believe that we started Nest and I was still a full-time teacher and you were still a full-time teacher.
Yeah, it's crazy, but it's cool.
But it is cool.
Remind me why Nest started again? Why do we do this to ourselves?
I started it, but you carried it home is basically what happened. And what was it? I guess I shared with most people that were living in Vietnam the frustration of finding an apartment when I first came here as a teacher. And I was like, man, this industry could use some improvements. So that's where it began. I was facing a lot of like mismatched apartments. They weren't what I wanted. Really awkward, uncomfortable situations with landlords that didn't know we were coming, all communication in Vietnamese. Just a lot of wasted time, and it's a huge decision. And I was kind of like reflecting about back home, really the real estate agent is like dating the customer and like wooing them and grabbing them a coffee and showing them these great places, and that was the missing piece. So I had a background in sales, so I started to think, okay, we need that. And so I was like, I can do that. So I just started renting them apartments, getting to know a small handful of landlords. And then we realized the other pain point for people was, now that they're here, what do we do about all this like horrible furniture and
hard furniture, yeah,
and a hard bed and like a bench for a sofa. And that's what made it really like a creative idea. It was about finding someone a home and then helping them to decorate or furnish it. But none of that really blew up or happened until you came. We had a small investment. We had an office, which was awesome.
That office was the best one, I think. Ham?
It was such a cute office. That's like early days when we didn't worry about money.
Yeah, well, we still don't.
We had no control.
Splash.
I want a money gun.
Yeah, but that's perfect. That's also exactly how I remember it. It was a lot harder for us then because we only had like 20, or even if that properties, 20 properties to choose from. But we still managed to close like a lot, right?
Yeah, because people wanted to talk to us or felt comfortable with us. That was the thing.
Definitely. And also just the shared frustration, like you said. I think that was also, and I think that still happens, you know? When people come here and they don't know what to do or where to go, I think they still get really frustrated because now there's so many more agencies and like they still don't know who to choose or who to trust or whatever.
One thing about our team, you, me, and Kiki and Claire, is like all of us have been in Hanoi for about 8 years. It's like metropolitan now, so we've had to adapt.
So obviously it's difficult. When we first started showing apartments, we didn't know enough Vietnamese, but us going to show apartments, and it would be two tays, so two expats walking into the apartment and the landlord sort of asking, where's the agent?
Right.
And you're like,
Do you have Google Translate? It doesn't work.
Exactly. And the look on their face is just like, oh, a tay, like never, you know, they've never in their life before. And that was always fun.
And then getting around the stigma of people thinking that because we were foreigners, we weren't negotiating good prices with the landlords. And that was like a big hurdle to get past, because there was this idea that was like, oh, if I go to a Vietnamese person, I can get it cheaper.
One night I went out and this guy came, my friend introduced me like, hey, this is Leslie from Nest. And he's like, I hate Nest, you know? And I'm like, hold my beer. Like, what do you mean? How can you hate something you don't even know? And he was like, well, you guys just walk around and you price apartments at whatever you want to price them at. And every other agency and landlord in the area matches your prices. And while I was really flattered that he thought that we had so much power,
right.
What a load of BS, you know?
We have no control. We're literally just following. I mean, we all do the same thing. We just provide an elevated service. Like everyone has the same
Properties, yeah.
but I do remember in the beginning, like building up our database of properties. Like we started with a Word document.
Yeah.
And the Word document had like 5 listings because I lived on Chukbak. Over 6 years, it's become like a beast of spreadsheets. And it's just it was so cool to like look at the map and be like, nest. And we started taking over and people wanted to work with us. I mean, that was like it gives me chills.
Yeah, it's exciting times, eh? And now
Yes.
we've got like like about 3,000 properties on our document.
And then, I mean, the evolution on the interior decor side of things, because like we always had the idea, but we would sell like, you know, like 1 rug a year. We'd sell like a wine glass and be like, oh my God, someone sold 4 wine glasses.
No, or even the BOA glasses. It was exciting.
And we would make like $2, like spend all our time on marketing wine glasses. I remember you messaged me one day and you were like, these sofas have become fashion.
Yeah.
If you don't have one, you're not cool. And they were like selling. And that was also an interesting time because like that was how we learned manufacturing.
Yeah.
It was just by custom sofas and like messing up.
So I guess that's a whole nother struggle, is like our communication with suppliers and like how to get the customer's vision across to what actually gets produced. Trial and error.
Yeah, a lot of error, a lot of trials. But no, that was super cool because I just remember being like, wow, this whole other side of the business is like something that it makes so much sense. We're already talking to the customers and we're in the home with them and we're hearing from them like, oh, I hate this rug. I hate this patio furniture. Like, doesn't it make sense to be providing those things?
So I think that is definitely what makes us unique from all other property agents and agencies, right? Is that we can make it really feel like your home. I think that we've established that to a point that even if somebody starts it now, it's still going to take a while and they're going to have to go through all the trials and tribulations that we went through for 5.5 years, 6 years before they can even get to our point, you know?
The fact that we've done all the homework and we can execute your concept, and
we customize everything to you, right? So I think that is the main thing. It's not like walking into a shop and being like, oh, I'll buy the Sophia sofa.
what are like some some of the weirdest ones. Humongous sofa.
That's my favorite sofa though.
It's the most beautiful. It's like a movie theater pit.
And the ironic thing about that is that like mainly the everyone's complaining about it's harder than I thought or whatever. And his complaint was it's too soft.
Some other weird things we did. Oh, like the TV stand that has the cat litter box inside of it, and the cat walks in and out of the TV stand.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's also one of my favorite things we've done. I mean, our wallpaper is cool because it literally just changes the entire room.
That was a good niche. And super affordable.
Super affordable, and again, custom anything. So send us the picture and we print anything you want, right?
Yeah.
Take a picture of yourself and we'll put it on your wall.
Just your face over and over and over and over and over and over. Yeah, like we would send someone out to like bless your house and feng shui it and get the energies out of it.
Yeah, that was cute. Kiki wants us to talk about projects and growth. I think one of my worst experiences.
I know. Was it?
No. But oh yeah, it was. That gave me anxiety.
Costly, and also the sofa was just not cute. And also we were like really figuring out at that time, like, okay, we tell people we can do custom, but maybe we should like pull back on the amount of things you can customize, because sofas during this short period of time were turning out really, really weird.
Yeah, but that's what happens when you give adults carte blanche on their ideas.
Like, not everyone should be a sofa designer. I'm pretty sure I had to take a Xanax before we got in the car with
Jessica. Okay, yeah. Yeah.
It was heartbreaking because we just barely missed the mark every time, and it just kept happening over and over and over. But long story short, she bought a beautiful sofa from us, and it was our first time making it. And it was leather, and we just had this one pillow, backrest pillow, that was too goddamn small.
Yeah, that's true.
And we could not communicate to the factory to just fix that pillow, and the factory kept sending us videos of them like hitting it and trying to puff it up and make it bigger, and we were like, you need to remake this pillow. And then they remade it, and then it was smaller again, and it just went on and on and on until we actually took
the legs
the legs and then breaking them off, and put that sofa was again
a nightmare. Yeah, but originally I guess we have to take some responsibility for that, because what we had advertised on the website was not what
it was. Just like a sofa we had pulled from a dupe inspiration.
But luckily we don't really use that factory anymore anyway, so.
And okay, I'll talk about like good projects, because I thought McKinney was really fun.
Yeah, that was so nice. That was our first breakthrough into like restaurants.
Yeah, and it had like such a clear theme, and like what was great was the two people that were the decision makers were well balanced. Like, one person was like, yeah, everything's fine, let's do it. And the other was very detail oriented and handled the payments and was like a really solid decision maker. And the communication was great on that project. They didn't make a ton of changes. We did it in phases. I thought it was super fun and cool.
Yeah, that was really cool. And like it turned out really good as well. I think that we did a lot with a small budget and changed the space and reused furniture that they had to keep it within budget, even though I hated those.
I know.
100%. Like the last villa we did, that was also an amazing project because that turned out so beautifully.
Yeah, it did.
That was the perfect explanation of kind of what Nest does though, right? So like she was a new customer coming into the country. We had showed her a bunch of villas and she ended up renting one. But all the furniture in there was really old and moldy, and so we removed all the furniture and remade everything according to her style.
Yeah. And she was able to make all those decisions before arriving, because she was arriving with, is it 3 kids?
4 kids.
4 kids that are going to start school, need beds to sleep in, need mattresses, need sofas, need plates, need everything. That was a really fun one.
And it turned out so beautifully as well. Like it's like one of the projects that I'm really proud that we had a hand in, you know? Everyone was like, oh my gosh, how much is this villa? And I'm like, sorry, rented by us. Decorated by us. Yeah.
Flora Villa circa 2021 was a really fun project.
Yeah, that was beautiful as well.
I just had the baby and it was really fun to like get my hands into it, and paint, and learn all about like the hardwares. Yeah, we're learning quite a bit, but what we are is like problem solvers.
Yeah, with a nice vision as well, good vision. Oh, that was another fun project, was the custom rug, the Paul Smith rug.
Oh yeah.
The burnt orange and green sofas.
And she was so happy. And she got the bed frame too, right?
It was a nice big order, and it was fun and different, and it gave me mad anxiety because I'm like, how is this going to work?
I know.
We only got the blueprint for the villa in France, right? And then we had to measure everything off the blueprint and just like cross fingers and hope that it worked. And then 8 months later, she sends us a picture and she's like, look how beautiful it is, you did this. And I'm like, oh my God, we did that.
Her beautiful villa in France that she decorated from afar.
Yeah, how nice. So that was also a really cool project.
I feel like anytime someone gets a custom rug, I'm like, oh yeah, here we go. Because there's someone that like already knows to invest in quality and nice things and knows what they want, to the point where they're like, I'm ready to, make something.
Yeah.
I just love when someone is like, here's my vibe, here's the mood board, go with it.
I love her actually. It's like my idol. I'm like, that's who I will be in 15 years.
Yeah, she's my spirit woman.
She's so nice as well. And her husband's so funny. And then let's move on to the most recent project, so the hotel project, which has been taking up all of the time.
I'm really proud of that project.
Yeah, I'm proud of what we did too, and I think that the fact that we don't have the whole project now is just the lack of their vision.
We're gonna blame them completely. We did really well, and the customer is not always right. Okay, I think you should brief everyone on what the project was.
Okay, so from the beginning.
And I actually want to hear like how you met.
In the hotel project, I met this guy, this Vietnamese man, on our first open house we did in Tu Hoa. It was maybe 3 years ago, and there was a brand new building in Tu Hoa, and all of the apartments were empty, and I contacted the landlord there and saying, hey, we want to do an open house, and they were like, WTF, it's an open house. And I was like, well, let me show you. Like, I'm gonna sit in the apartment from this time to this time, and I'm just gonna make an open invite for all of our guests to come. And they were like, sure, do that. And then when I arrived there, the guy that was managing the building was this guy. And I walked in with all of our like little gifts, and I set it up and whatever. And then he started asking me like who I was and what we do, and who we service. And he was like really impressed by, I guess, just how we showed up at that specific building, and how my very little but cute Vietnamese was okay.
And every time, by the way, that you say we, you mean you.
Yeah, but it makes me feel awkward to say that. There's no I in nest.
Aw, it's T for team.
But then so he stayed in contact with me from then and had left that company, and I think that's maybe why they weren't doing so well. But he stayed in touch with me like over the past 3 years, and then recently reached out to me and said like, hey, I've got a cool project that I want you to do. Come today and look at the project. So of course I went to go look at it. All he told me was that the investor wants to make a hotel and he doesn't know how to set it up, and he thinks that we would be good at that. So I was like, cool. Also no expectations, no letdown. So I didn't think that we would actually get the project because it is a big one. And then I walked in there and I was like, okay, wow. Saw a freestanding bathtub. So I was like, okay, maybe it is within the budget, you know? And then I was like, cool, yeah, we can do this. And then sent you guys the video, obviously the interior team, and then like designed it off the renditions that he already had made, which I also think was a mistake, because if we had ignored those renditions originally, we wouldn't have had to change everything the second time.
Yeah. But we did ask and we did clarify, because that was one big learning lesson for us, is we have to be able to create renders. But yeah, the client came with renders. So, yeah. I mean, that took out like 2 weeks of work and effort. We were like, do you want us to just replicate this and price it out for you? And they said yes.
First I said yes, and then he was like, no, you're doing this all wrong. I want each room to have a different concept.
Once everything was ordered and he had like ticked all the boxes and check and signed the contract. The other thing I think we learned was like, we did get taken advantage of because our contract wasn't clear enough in some ways about payment must be by this is how many changes you get. And I think that is kind of like industry standard, but we didn't know. I have a theory that Nest really shines with like, we have a really big network of factories. Like a lot of these places can do your bed frames and can do your vanity or whatever, but like not everyone has the artwork, the teacups, the rug, the bedding, you know, the lighting, all of it. And I kind of think that we supplied all of it, and now they're going to find it themselves.
Another thing I did learn though is that the contracts don't mean anything, because in the first contract we did say you can't share our ideas with anybody else, right? It's property of Nest, and he did exactly the opposite.
That is also, I digress, one big challenge of having a business in Vietnam. Where do you turn to for, what is it called? Like legal retribution. I don't think like I've ever seen a courthouse.
Yeah, I mean you can, but it comes down to who has the more money, basically, who will win. It's not who's right? So the brief was help us set up a hotel, right?
27 bedrooms, 28 bedrooms.
Yeah, so what, 7 floors, 4 rooms on each floor. What the setup was, or the like initial get-go, was Nest was given 1 floor, the 5th floor, as a trial, basically, and we had a timeline in which to do it, which was like a month, which is actually very quick. So quick. And with that, then we went in and we started producing all of the furniture that matched the computer editions.
Not to mention, when we signed the contract that we would do it in a month, it didn't have like floors, walls.
Yeah, wasn't even fully built. Yeah. But we completed the project, and the only thing that held us back, because we completed it in 3 weeks, right? So we still had a week. But then the middle bedroom hadn't been built yet, or hadn't been painted. It was just literally cement. So that obviously floored us a little bit in terms of everything was delivered there, but we couldn't actually put it in the room because it was still a building site, still construction. But what happened was, once we had completed the first order matching the renditions that he had originally sent us, he changed his mind, basically. Bland gray and white, and cheap looking school furniture.
One of the things that we really learned from this is we're really excited we live in Vietnam and we're foreigners living in Vietnam. We should be doing business with Vietnamese in the Vietnamese way. But one of the things that I learned is that we really appeal to people that are looking for something that doesn't exist in Vietnam. Like, what we proposition to this Vietnamese hotel owner is that we understand what foreigners want, and you want to reach foreigners. But the missing piece is, like, even though you can try to convey that, I don't think that this particular Vietnamese man understood the value of
what we were bringing to the table.
I think it's a myth. You and I don't come from cultures where that level of respect is expected. Like, you hire an expert and say, like, yeah, tell me what to do with my hotel. I have no idea. I'm just a businessman. But in Vietnamese culture, there's a hierarchy. So when we do have our Vietnamese counterpart translating on our behalf, it's a very like careful dance.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and I think that we did well with that, though. I think that like our Vietnamese staff did a fantastic job in relating and also guiding us on how we should be speaking to them. And I think that she was just like, no, let me just do this because I know how it goes. Where it's not easy, A, to do business as a woman, B, to do business as a Western woman in Vietnam. and C to be younger than the man or the investor that you're working for. So there's like 3 layers there that you've got to kind of kiss ass through.
And I'm so bad at that.
I'm good at that.
You are the winner. I'm like, I'm gonna leave this chat. I am going to explode. And you're like, I've got this.
Yeah, it's because I do have patience for it, and I'm so willing to learn, because I want to succeed in the industry, right? And I know that the way that I would do business in South Africa, for example, is completely different to how it is here. And when I phoned my dad the other day, and I like explained to him my frustrations basically on like dealing with men technically in business, he's like, you know, Leslie, everyone's like that. There isn't, you know, the world isn't easy, nothing's easy. And if you always want people to respect the way that you do things and trust everything that they do, you're going to be let down. Like people aren't always honest. They're not always going to listen to you, and sometimes you just have to suck that up in order to get the entire deal. So I can't allow myself to get upset if they are speaking down to me, or if they are telling me not to speak in certain times, because they are the top of the hierarchy. I do just kind of have to eat that up and be like, okay.
Because in the end, we want to win.
Whatever happens, we learn. Well, we learn. Yeah. So that's a win. With 6 years experience, I think it's good. But imagine how good we'll be in like 10, 15 years, you know?
And I'm going to keep my eye on that hotel. Like, I would like to see when they open. I would like to see the remainder of the rooms. I would like to see...
They've invited us back for coffee, so it's fine. So once it's done, then we're all going for coffee at the hotel. And it's mainly just so that I can check that they didn't break the personal intellectual property contract. I'm like, not with that attitude. That's one thing you taught me though. Like when I was complaining, like in the second year at Nest, I was complaining about something like about how, oh, that'll never happen or whatever. And you were like, not with that attitude. And then continued with your day. And I was like, oh. It's a good point. It's a very good point.
Yeah, I'm really proud of us.
Yeah, me too. I think that our projects just keep getting bigger and better, and it's upwards and onwards. I guess the struggle that I have sometimes is dividing myself between the properties and the interior projects.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot to do now, a lot more than in the beginning we would be like looking for things to do. And now the list is endless.
I think we should just drop into Sip and Stroll.
I do too.
And how much of a success that was. Like Kiki did a fantastic job, like arranging all of the furniture to go into different apartments, and then getting people to come. And it was a pretty well-oiled machine for the first pancake, is what I called it.
Oh, in 2026, we're going to keep blowing out these awesome Sip and Strolls, which are essentially super cool high-end apartments. Once a month, people come and gather and they sip wine or champagne and hors d'oeuvres and pop into these exclusive, or not exclusive, but these really cool listings. And we did our first one, which was a super success. It's like open house on steroids.
Yeah, open house, but it's also slightly networking because we connect people.
And it's all these places have Estate&Decor in them, and
it's a good way to showcase who we are and like what we offer.
Also, okay, so the Sip and Strolls are awesome. We also have our returning 6.
Yeah. I mean, it is 6, but we just don't know the exact month. We can check the license, it's fine. I think it's definitely something to celebrate, because also when I tell people how long we've been open, they're like, what? Yeah. Like, well, where have you been?
I think this is the longest I've done anything. You might be my longest relationship.
We are in love, Maddie. But we're married, wifey.
That is what we're celebrating. We have proved that
we're capable of relationships.
We're not breaking up. I'm also excited about projects. Yeah. The hotel project taught us so much, and like doing I'm excited to do like restaurants. I'm excited to do schools. I'm excited, because I have 2 girls now, and I would love to like get into the Montessori kind of
vibe. Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
And then I'm also excited for like our new pet line, like this posh pet line. That is one unique niche because foreigners love their pets, and foreigners are our audience.
Oh yeah, and then also just excited about getting landlords to sign on to refresh packages.
The refresh packages are really cool because we put together these 3-tiered packages. The ones I'm talking about for tenants, like if you move into a place and you want it to have a quick facelift, we have a package that's under $800 that will transform your living room. Takes the thinking out of it, because a lot of the drab apartments could use a facelift. So that's a good one.
They sure can. Yeah.
And they're priced as a package, so you're getting like a really good deal because they're not individual item pricing.
Yeah, just getting ourselves more out there, letting people know who we are and what we represent and stuff is also high on my priority list for the next year.
Yep. Like another cool branch of us is like we do have the Welcome to Hanoi guide. We try to not just move people into an apartment, but also give them the resources to navigate the first experiences in Vietnam.
Yeah, their life here, right? So it's like
It's nest living.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean,
and while we're at it, let's just like acquire like a few of our competitors this year.
What do you want?
Let's just acquire a few of our competitors this year.
Oh, I'll just like take them on, make them ours.
Yeah, if anyone can do it, it's you. I think you just need to get out there and be like, hey.
So it's not necessarily always a competition. In my mind, it's not a competition. Like we're all very different brands. We are all very different things to offer and have different personalities, and the market is big enough for everyone to exist. And I don't think that anyone will ever be us. Will always be us. You know, you can't carbon copy us, but you will be you and we will be us.
They do try.
Okay, cool. Well, that's enough chit chat, Manny. Gotta go back to work.
That was like an hour and a half. Jesus. You have a lot of work.
Kiki's gonna go MIA for the next 3 days.
Okay. Love you.
Okay, I love you too. Bye, wifey.
Bye.